Hello pupils, I hope you're doing well wherever you are. I am teacher Eric Jared. I'm going to carry on with Science and Technology Std Iv, and we are going to continue with energy through subsection that we had seen in the previous lesson, that was heat energy. And remember, we had looked some of the parts in heat energy, and now in the previous lesson we left in the uses of heat energy. So today let's look some of the uses of heat energy, and after that we'll look to other forms of energy. Now, uses of heat energy. Uses of heat energy. Uses of heat energy. Dear pupils, we have many uses of heat energy, and these are known to you. You know that heat energy can be used for cooking, for boiling, for drying different things like clothes, grains. So those are just some of the uses of heat energy. There at your own place, heat is being used in some of those that I have mentioned. So let's just say some. The uses you have said, it can be used for cooking. Heat energy is used in cooking. Using cooking. Used in drying things, and these things may be grain, may be clothes. Yes. So the other use of energy, we can say use of heat energy. We can also say used for boiling. Used for boiling. Used for boiling. So when you want to boil a substance, you can use energy. Heat energy. You can use heat energy. Other uses are like used to melt down metals. When you want to take metals, to turn the metals from solid state to liquid state, we do use heat. High temperature of heat. We subject the metal into high temperature of heat, then it turns to liquid metal. So those are some of the uses. I'll list this one because these are the common uses there at our home place. Now today, let's just look at light energy. Light energy. Light energy. Light energy. Light energy. Yeah, pupils, light energy is a form of energy, or can say type of energy, which help us to see. Form of energy which help us to see. We see by the help of light. So, just to define it, I'll say light energy is the type of form, you can say, type of energy which help us to see. Which help us to see. The type of energy which help us to see is what we refer to as light energy. Dear pupils, you cannot see without light. You cannot see without light. Without light, it is very difficult to see. Because when there is no light, that means there is darkness. So, in darkness, it is very difficult to see something. So, That is why we describe light energy as the form or the type of energy that help us to see. The type of energy that help us to see. Sources of light. Sources of light energy are divided into two. We have natural sources of light and artificial sources of light. So let's just see sources of light. Sources of light energy. Sources of light energy, dear pupils. We've said sources of light are divided into two. They are divided into two, which are one, we say natural source, natural sources, and the second one is artificial sources. Artificial sources. So the first one there, natural sources, and the second one, artificial sources. These are the two categories of things, or two categories of sources. That means the first category is natural, and the second one is artificial source. Let's start with the natural source. Natural source. So starting with our A, which is natural source of light. Natural source of light. Now, what is natural source of light energy? Natural sources are sources which comes into existence on their own. They are not controlled by human beings. They are sources which cannot be controlled by human beings. So we can also say these are sources which are out of control of human beings. These sources are like sunlight. Pupils. Sunlight cannot be controlled by human beings. When it rises and when it sets, it is a natural process. So that is just one amount. But the other one is firefly or glowing worm. These are also natural things. They are organisms which are created by or which have come into existence on their own. Now, no human being can control firefly to produce light. So let's just say we have said that these are sources. These are sources of light. These are sources of light which cannot be controlled by human beings. They exist on their own. Examples of natural sources, we have said, the first one is the sun. The sun. I hope, my dear pupils, every one of you knows the sun. Second one, stars. Third one, firefly. Fourth one, can talk of jellyfish. The other one can talk of comets. The other one can talk of volcanoes. So, those are just few examples of natural sources of light. We have said the first one here is the sun, the stars, firefly, jellyfish, this one may be new to you. Comets, volcanoes. These are active volcanoes which erupt. When active volcanoes erupt, they tend to produce light. They tend to produce light together with the heat. That heat is accompanied by light. So we also group volcanoes or eruptive volcanoes as one of the natural sources of light. Now let's go to our second one, which is the artificial sources of light. Artificial sources of light. Artificial sources of light. Dear pupils, artificial sources of light. Artificial sources of light are sources of light which are made by human beings. Artificial sources of light are the sources of light which are made by human beings. So let's write something. B, artificial sources. Artificial sources. We say these are sources of light. These are sources of light which are made by human beings. They are made by human beings. If it is made by human being, therefore, it is under control of human being. It is under control of human being because it is made by human being. Let's see some examples. Examples of these artificial sources. The first one may be bulb. Bulb. The other one, lamp. Lamp. The other one can be torch. Torch. The other one can be burning flame. Burning flame. Just to mention but few. These are just few examples, and they are mostly found in our home place. The bulb is there in the house at night or during darkness. We do switch it on. Lamp is there, and in the car we do use car lamps. We have torch. It is known to you. Burning flame. These are just things which are made by human beings. Now, those are just examples of artificial sources of light. Dear pupils, uses of light. The main use of light is to help human beings to see. So it helps in vision. Vision is also seeing, dear pupils. So we need not to write much about uses of light while it is already known to us. Now let's go to different behaviors or characteristics of light. Different behaviors or characteristics of light. Light has characteristics, dear pupils. Light as other forms of energy have different characteristics. So let's write characteristics of light. Characteristics of light. Characteristic of light energy. Characteristics of light energy. My dear pupils, these characteristics of light are not new to you because they have been discussed there in Std Iv. some of the characteristics just to mention. 1. Light travels in a straight line. Light travels in a straight line. If you take your torch, then you switch it on, then observe the rays that comes from the torch. Those rays do travel in a straight line. So one of the characteristics is that light travels in a straight line. The second characteristic is that light can be absorbed by black color. Light can be absorbed by black color. The third one, light can be reflected when it falls on a shiny object. Shiny object may be a mirror, it is shiny or polished object. The other thing, light can be refracted. Light can be refracted when it moves from air to water. So let's just write. The first one, you say 1. Light travels in a straight line. Light travels in a straight line. Second one, light can be absorbed. Light can be absorbed by black color. By black color. The third one, light can be reflected. Light can be reflected when it falls on a shiny or polished surface. Light can be reflected. I have just said, take your mirror, put it in front of you, take a torch, switch it on, and direct the rays from the torch towards the mirror. You will see that those rays fall on the mirror, then they come back. So that is the process that shows that light can be reflected. So one of the things is that light can be reflected. Light can be reflected. The fourth one, before we move to the fourth one, this reflection of light is also called bouncing back of light. Bouncing back of light. In the next lesson, we'll try to see by diagrams and practical how these things happen. Now the fourth one is light can be refracted. Dear pupils, don't mistake light being refracted and reflected and refracted. We have refraction and reflection. There are two things. We have said refraction, or this property of light can be refracted, happens when light falls in water from air. Refraction of light happens when light falls in water from air. So these are just few characteristics of light. I have said, when I come to the next, we'll see one after another, diagrammatically and perhaps experimentally or practically. For today, I have to thank you a lot for having listened to me and just welcome you to the next lesson. Thank you very much.